Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to another live stream on the internet. Today I'm going to be going to the Nether, and I'm going to be making my huge netherrack pathway, which I actually started as a preparation, actually, for the million block run. I'm going to be using the netherrack which I got from said million block run, because I have a lot of it in various places. Got a huge amount of it here, here, here. Basically, I collected a lot of netherrack, and now I'm going to use it to make a huge pathway to find some Elytras. Why do I need Elytras? I hear you asking. Well, I don't hear you asking. I mentally imagine you asking, and I turn it into audio in my head. But you know, why do you need more Elytras, Toycat? You got one over here, you got one in one of these shulker boxes, and the answer to your question is stop asking questions. Thank you very much for your time. But no, more seriously, the actual answer to the question is more a bit like, I think it'll be fun to collect some more, and also it's useful to know where end cities are, because when you go to the end islands, it's a big void of pretty much nothingness for a very long time, and trying to fly across it is a really inefficient way to get around your nether. So I feel like, personally, the best way to do it instead is to, you know, actually have a huge pathway that we could one day even bring a horse to, maybe, or like something like an automatic method. Maybe we could like have a boat, or just some way to probably do it. So we're going to take a bunch of netherrack, and by a bunch I mean another whole inventory worth, and we're gonna make the pathway a little bit longer than it is right now. It's gonna be a bunch of fun. Hello everyone, by the way. Hi, 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 hello. Welcome to the live stream. This is probably the earliest he's come to a live stream. Yeah, I was only 4 minutes late today. Again, if you don't know, it's not a Toycat stream if it's not a few minutes late. Again, because on YouTube, they ask you to have like a scheduled time. You can't just say, there's a stream happening in about 20 minutes. They're like, give us the minute it's happening. Is it 9:31? Is it 9:32? Is it 9:34? You know, they, my voice died. They ask you to tell them exactly, and that's why that's a thing, because especially like 7 hours in advance, I don't know the exact minute I'll be streaming. I'm sorry, YouTube. So yeah, hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. This is Streamless, by the way, every day in December. Is December Christmas? Yeah, every day in December we'll be streaming. It's gonna be kind of great. So, yeah, hello, says the panda in the ravine, says King Enderman. I'm still mind blown by the panda which fell into the ravine and survived, by the way. Like, I have people ask me about that every now and then. I'm like, you know, I don't know how that properly worked, but apparently it does. So, hello, welcome to the live stream. Let's get to the thing, and let's start building this bridge. We've got 3 shulker boxes full of netherrack. I think a single chest holds 64 by 27. On the top of my head, that's what, like, just under 2,000 blocks. Just under 1,800 to be precise. So we have about 6,000, 7,000 blocks. We can make our pathway go a lot further than it does right now. And yeah, it's a little bit reminiscent of the, you know, going a million blocks, but it's also a lot calmer because there's nothing really here. And also I have an Elytra the whole time, which we are not equipping it. There is nothing you can do to convince me to take off this Elytra because it is staying on there. Is your mod McDonald's review the last one of 2018, says Mario Maniac. It actually is, yeah, there's going to be one last McDonald's review on the 3rd channel, which is a weird thing to explain to people who don't know, so just don't ask questions, you know, it's it's fine, it's fine. So yeah, here you can see, this is my base camp, this is where the Nev portal takes me on and off, and this is the big pathway. If you didn't watch the video, then you might not know the big pathway, but it's just a long stop line which just goes on, I think for about 800 blocks or so at present. We're going to take it about 8,000 blocks, because everything has to be an order of magnitude bigger than it is right now. It's just basic fact right there. So yeah, basically we got, it is suspiciously similar also, like it's a netherrack bridge, and there's lots of monsters around, which might intimidate me. But again, if I just jump off the edge here, I will survive. I kind of want to do it now just to show that it's fine. Okay, I'm just going to triple check I have an Elytra, so we can jump off. Oh no, okay, there we go, as you can see. And now we can fly, and it's just a fast way to get around, honestly. And yeah, it's scary to potentially look at Enderman, but, you know, that's the risk you run in the Nether. That's the risk you run. So, yeah, Toycat, would you ever dye your hair, says Easy Aesthetics. Okay, here's the thing, right? Here's my legitimate, genuine opinion, that is potentially offensive. So I think anyone can dye their hair, and if you want to dye your hair, well, regardless of your situation, your gender, whatever, go for it, you know, if that's fun. But, like, dyeing your hair has real consequences, and I feel like a lot of streamers do it, because, like, maybe someone bets them one day, and they're like, yeah, I could totally do that. And it's just like, man, this is it's like a way of showing, like, you know, to me, it doesn't signify good things. Like, if I was going to dye my hair, like, bright blue, like, it's a cool idea, but it's, like, a consequence I have to live with in my whole life. Like, I'm fine. I had like, blood dripping down my eye once. Oh, no, it wasn't blood, it was, like, orange juice, but not, I mean, like, an orange version, oh, whatever. That was, don't question how there's a line between blood and orange juice, but there was a very, concerning liquid dripping down my face. That's fine, you know, I honestly, most of the time I'm fine with, like, looking out, standing out too much in public, but, like, I don't know, just something like that, it's like, if it's a decision I'm not intrinsically proud of, it's like, ooh, that's a thing. Also damages your hair and wrecks your natural hair color. I mean, yeah, technically speaking, there's some benefits and some downsides, but yeah, I do think there are some very attractive dyed hair colors, but most of them are, you know, lady hair. Like, as in, again, I think that's a good thing, but, like, you know, like dyed ginger, it's a color you don't naturally get, but like it seems close enough to actually existing. Looks very good, we're on board with it. Like, same with dyed red, you know, there's a lot of very good hair colors like that. But for men, if you're gonna dye your hair, you're doing it to be ridiculous. It's more like a joke, like, it's like a bet, like, look at me, I have green hair. And yeah, also I have, if you don't know, if you haven't been following the channel for 6 years, wow, what were you doing 6 years ago that wasn't following IVX Toycat? But, yeah, no, 6 years ago I had a girlfriend, I guess she's an ex-girl, maybe it was 4, I don't know, some number of years ago, I had an ex-girlfriend, current girlfriend at the time, who was, like, really, really into just dyeing her hair, but, like, really bad colours. Like, green hair that, like, turn it, like, it was bad when it was new, but then, here's the worst bit, even if something's, like, exciting when it's new, hair dye runs out really fast, like, you should do it, like, once every 3 weeks, right? So, after, like, a couple of weeks, it started looking like it was, like, swamp, and it was like, man, like, you know, like, you politely mention, like, hey, you look a bit like a swamp monster, and apparently that's me being a bad boyfriend, you know, I don't understand the modern standards of people these days, but no, more seriously, it's just, I've had some bad experiences, and I've just realized, you know, natural hair, it does the job well enough for me. I'm a big natural hair fan. 10 out of 10 would natural hair again. So there's the answer to your question. I went way into that one. So anyway, on more serious, pressing topics than something as simple as would you dye your hair, which is clearly the big topic of the day. I wanted to talk about something interesting because the topic from my Let's Play, if you haven't watched already, has been really in my head a whole bunch about how, like, you misremember the past so often and so much that you don't even question it sometimes. Like, if someone just asks you if someone tells you the same question over and over again, or like, oh wait, here's a fun one. If someone just, you know, tells you, like, oh yeah, so, if I say right now a random name, like, Donald Peterson, like, that sounds like a name of someone, but you don't know him. If I said that name now, and then tomorrow I said, so, have you guys heard of the name Donald Peterson? If you didn't remember that you heard it here, you'd be like, oh yeah, that must be a celebrity or something, like, I've heard that name before, and your brain is just like, yep, it's a name I've heard before, must have been from this source, and you might even start remembering to yourself, like, oh yeah, so actually, yeah, I remember I heard about this new Donald Peterson, he's a big, you know, you might think of a Donald you know, a Peterson you know, and it's kind of crazy. So, I would hate the idea of dyeing my hair, honestly. Again, I think I'm a natural hair fan too, says Kit Kats. There's a, like, every natural hair color, with very few exceptions, is good. Most dyed hair colors, with very few exceptions, are bad. If you're dyeing your hair to make it a natural hair color, that's quite good. If you're dyeing your hair one of the, like, again, there's an acceptable range of, like, interesting reds, and even to some people, not to me personally, you know, pink's like, that's got its whole own connotations, but there's a whole spectrum of colors where hair dye exists that it shouldn't, and then some people, they're like, oh yeah, so I really want to have, like, rainbow hair, because that would be an exciting project to do, and it's like, your hair shouldn't be a project, it's most of your face, it's most of your head, right? I probably have a Donald Pizza in my family, says KP. See, look at that. That's me changing your memory. By the way, big thank you, King Edmund, for the 99-cent super chat. Do appreciate it, man. But, yeah, but have you ever had a memory and had to wonder if it was a dream or if it was real? I have this, like, all the time, almost in reverse sometimes, where I'm like, is that a dream or a memory? It's like deja vu or whatever. Like, I really don't quite understand, like, why sometimes dreams seep into my real life. I've heard it's actually because when you sleep too much, you know, like, your dreams and your real life get intertwined, which is one of the benefits of sleeping less. Like, again, I want to make a real effort in sleeping, like, you know, a slightly less than I do right now, because I love when I sleep less, generally speaking. By the way, I love the shirt. Thank you very much. I'm a Zelda fan too, says Unhallowed Gammon. Yeah, no, I actually reference, so I recorded the first part of a 2-part video. I'll spoil it for you now because secret livestream squad. I want to buy, like, the worst Minecraft merch in the world, and I was mentioning how, like, you know, merch is actually a pretty cool thing in general, but not this type of merch. I'd only dye my hair when I get grey hair. See, here's the thing now. Maybe I'm wrong about this. Maybe it's like my social circle trying to convince me that, like, you know, like growing old is okay. But I think grey hair, like a little bit. When you're all grey, that's scary. But like if you're like 40, you know, 30 and you got some grey hairs, that like shows age and maturity or something. I don't know for sure if that's true. I've heard that secondhand. So maybe it makes you feel better if you see a grey hair. Because you know how there's always that like, by the way, big thank you Smith and Murph for the $1 super chat. You know how there's always that funny, like, you know, that rumor or that girl or that guy or that person in your school who's like, oh no, I got a grey hair. It's like a big, it's a recurring theme in like sitcoms and stuff. But, you know, it's not actually like, again, some people like it. Some people are on board with that. They love the whole thing. Dye blonde looks horrible compared to natural blonde. No hair dye will ever give you the right tones. Again, I feel like, okay, so here's the thing. There's like a whole spectrum of dyed blonde, and there's a whole spectrum of regular blonde. And there's a really good spectrum of regular blonde you can't get from dyeing. But there's also a really bad spectrum of regular blonde where it's like, you know, you could just dye, maybe you even should just, again, I'm not sure what that spectrum is. Again, I think blonde is like the most interesting hair color because of just how much it like really covers. Like brown hair is like, you get dark brown and then you get slightly light brown. Whereas there's what, like, there's dirty blonde, there's like different shades of it. Then there's like platinum blonde and there's, you know, it's like it's a whole thing. Apparently I'm invested in hair colors. I didn't realize I was, but I have a whole set of opinions on this one. But, yeah, going back to my previous point. Yeah, getting grey hairs, probably not so bad. Maybe this makes you feel better. Maybe you've got your first grey hair and you're like, I guess I'm gonna die. And it's like, you know, it's fine. Although maybe I feel like, again, probably a different... Maybe it's just like where I am in life. Maybe the people I surround myself with just tell me that's a thing. But I don't know for sure. Buying the Minecraft Magic 8 Ball, you said we can't be mod on the Discord and YouTube, but Froggy breaks that. He's mod on both. Froggy Feather was grandfathered in because he was a mod on YouTube before the rule. He was a mod. If you don't know, by the way, I've got this. It's actually like, there's some logic in it, but it's mostly just a fun rule. Where like, if you're a moderator on either YouTube or Discord, you can't be a moderator on the other one. It's like, what's the term they use in America for this? Balance of powers, right? It's like, what? No, checks and balances, sorry. Checks and balances. It's like, if you balance the powers, then they'll all check and balance. You know, it just... it's more just like a, you know, this is a good way to stop power concentration or something like that. Because if you don't know, there's kind of like a running joke on the Discord that I'm Supreme Leader. And I'm fascinated all the time by the tools that, like, dictators use to keep themselves in power. Like, I want to clarify, I don't use them on YouTube because, you know, YouTube's not a game about being a dictator. Like, I feel like the rules of being a dictator would work if I had 10 million subscribers who are watching each video, how to stop them leaving. But it doesn't lead people into your country. Like, no one ever wants to go to a country of a dictator, and therefore it wouldn't work on YouTube. So if you're scared, like, Toy Cat, you know how you ask us to like the video? Is that because, you know, you're a crazy dictator? Yeah, I want all the powers, says Kit Kat. Actually, Kit Kat's my... Oh, no, yeah, I don't think she's in buff, because I'm not sure what the Discord participation rate is there. But, blondes or brunettes, says Santino Mamon. I feel like you can go so far down this point before you get to the level where people don't want to talk about it. Oh, my head is hurting quite badly there. Toy Cat, build a wall. Now that is... I actually have built a huge wall, and I built it to keep the new world out when I switched from 360 to 1. There was, again, it's like how I had a huge resistance to switching to Bedrock. I had a huge resistance to switching to the 1. Yeah, there's a huge wall I built around it just to remember where the 360 size world is. And I still think I spend most of my time, even in 2018. Oh, did I look at you? I didn't. I still think I spend most of my time, even this late on. Oh, also, we didn't look for entities. Should we look around real quick? There's no entities. It's fine. But it's interesting that I spend most of my time in the 360 size part of the world, which is a whole fun thing. That's like going to North Korea, says Darcy Haynes. So yeah, no, I'm fascinated by like the whole how dictators keep people in, because like there's always so many bizarre like counterintuitive strategies you kind of have to run where it's well then let me see if I can make this work. Okay, we got this. It's all good. Just dye your hair the same as your normal hair color, then no one will see you did it. I think if I ever have to like do a bet like, oh, dye your hair for this, I will just dye it the same color. That'd be a fun thing to do. Again, though, I've always admired like the people who do dye their hair every month. Like, because again, there's some colors out there you only get via dye that actually are good. There's a narrow overlap between hair colors that are good and hair colors you can dye for. And that's a thing I've always thought was cool. Someone photoshopped Twig out of Stalin's mustache. I think that's already been done. Dylan knows. I've made way too many Supreme Dictator references. But like, so again, Stalin's rise to power is one of those things where like, I'll never fully understand it. Because the sheer levels of like, what he went through to try and, oh, that works apparently. The sheer levels of what he went through just to try and make it a thing. Also, what is brunette? Just real quick. Brunette, I believe, is just brown. But I don't know why, honestly, you know, I wish hair colors were called yellow and brown and then orange. They're called red, you know, like, or red or redhead, then blonde, and then brunette. You know, I think brunette is like, maybe it's like some old French word for brown. You know, actually, brunette etymology, one sec. This is more important than the bridge. Brunette etymology. Brunette is from 18th century French, feminine, and it means brown. So we use the French word for brown to mean brown because we're just smart people like that. That's what totally logical language is. Anyway, so what communist meme hasn't been made about you in the Discord? You got a good point. Yeah, I think pretty much any communist kind of joke there. But Dylan says dictators make the public weak. Yeah, you know, let's try and balance the hair dye conversation with the dictator conversation. That should go quite well. I mean, what could go wrong with that? But no, I think the fact that we call all hair colors a bit wrong. I think it's all French then, and then redhead's just we simplify orange as being red. That still makes me mad because again, orange and red. Again, I think they're both lovely hair colors, but they're clearly very different ball games. You know, it'd be like, you know how like football is called football in America, like football is called soccer in America, and American football is called football. You know, like, but you could theoretically, you know, in one crowd of people, call both games football in America, and people would understand you, right? Some Americans would at least. So the thing I find, should we just make some wood, I guess, just to make sure that our shulker box doesn't fall off? It'll be an interesting little. It'll look like it's a bonus chest or something. There we go. Okay, so now we place the shulker box down, and we take out some of our netherrack. Easy as that. And then we maybe bridge a bit around it. I did this all wrong, you know. Nothing I did here was particularly right. Yeah, we should probably fill the entire inventory besides this now. And then we can start again. And we have to make sure we get this, which we did. And then let's go. But I think dictators are more or less... do you think dictators are more or less likely to dye their hair than people like presidents, says Casey? I think they totally are. Here's the cool thing about being a dictator. If you're good enough at it, you don't need to care. Redheads are the superior color. Why is it called red, though? It's not red. It's orange. And even, like, orange, you know, like... Because ginger is the word we use for it. I don't know if ginger is a color as well. But also, yeah, I think a good dictator... Here's the thing, right? A good dictator eventually tries to... Okay, so... Any good dictator who actually cares, or even who just wants their country to be successful, as well as wanting themselves to be successful, will always try to end the dictatorship system, either in their lifetime or at the end of theirs. Or at the very least, plan a successor that they know will do the same. Or at the very least, barring that, will try to move their whole country in a way that revolution seems inevitable. The reason you see pretty much every dictator end, because after World War II, there was a lot of dictators in the world. Even Spain. This shocks me when I remember, like, you know, Spain, one of the most Western European countries, the second most visited in the world, I want to say. Oh yeah, they had a dictator until very, very recently. Greece, dictatorship. Portugal, dictatorship. You know, a lot of African countries, still dictatorships. There's a lot of dictators in the world, or close enough to dictators. And I think a good dictator would, like, because again, I really do think, there's a really controversial opinion out there. Actually, let me share it right now. A good dictator is better than a bad elected government. It's just that in general, the good dictator will... A bad government will pass. A bad elected government will pass. Whereas... okay. Good thing I reacted fast enough. Whew. So anyway, we talk about politics, apparently. That's what the game is telling me. So we'll go back to my previous thing. Which was just all about, you know... I just want to finish my point and say that, you know... It's important to care about your people, and not all most elected governments don't do that either, sadly enough. So, any entities yet? I probably should have been looking a bit more. I've been mostly focusing on the whole pathway thing, but we've only seen the one that we already knew about. There have been no additional end pathways, sadly. Also, let's place this block somewhere, just like here, just for fun. An elected government has a better chance of being good, same reason monarchies have done. But I mean, constitutional monarchism. We always have to clarify, so we're not picking on the UK. Constitutional monarchism. Constitutional monarchy. That's where it's at, yo. That's where it's at. Should have made the abridge at minus 11. 73 says AKL. You know, I missed out on a golden opportunity there, you're right. I missed out on a golden opportunity. Should we move it down? Yeah, let's move it down. You know, that's fine. We can at least get... Oh, wait, we can be at minus 611, 73. That's, like, almost as good. Let's do it, let's do it. Okay. This is entirely ridiculous and whimsical. But, you know, if that doesn't describe what we're going for here, then I don't know what does. Minus 611 and then 73. And just like that. Look at that. We now have ourselves... Oh, no, this is 612. Oh, is this... This is 611. Okay, we're going to try this one again. There we go. And now that's the thing. Constitutional monarchism is best because you can have democracy and Yankee tourist money. That's the best way I've heard it described. Like, for some reason, the Queen is just fascinating to, like, everyone. And I like, the royal family even. Like, there are people who, like, take days off work in America when there's a big royal family event. It's like, you know, I don't understand. I literally can't relate, you know. I literally, you know how that's, I think that's a meme, right? Like, can't relate, ha ha ha. But it's like, I literally can't understand where that thought process comes from. Like, but, you know, they're people who a long time ago, 1,000 years or so ago now, you know, like, okay, sure, you're not, I guess I heard the good comparison of, like, you know, you can't hate Kanye West and Kim Kardashian without hating the royal family, but at least, you know, I mean, a lot of people like Kim Kardashian, you know, like the insert big celebrity here who's famous because they're famous, like a Paris Hilton or whatever. People love famous celebrities because they're famous. People love the drama behind them, the this, the that. And I think, truthfully, Entity Dead Ahead says Mr. Emerald. I don't know if you know that or if you're guessing, but I'll take it. But, like, here's the thing. A lot of people really like random celebrities. So, like, I guess compared to random celebrity, you know, the Queen and the princesses and whoever else, I guess they are quite interesting. Because, you know, if let's pick a big celebrity. Like, if Kim Kardashian wanted to tomorrow, you know, rewrite slavery back into the US Constitution, you know, she does not have that ability. You know, if the Queen wants to do that tomorrow, technically speaking, there is a way for her to do it, you know. And that is cool to me, you know. That's like a new layer of drama. Imagine like a reality TV show where, like, they threaten that every now and then. That would be great fun. Side note, slavery is illegal in the UK. Should mention. No cathedral in the entity, so it's not a city, so it's trainable work. Honestly, okay, there are two things that I think the UK actually does a little bit backwards. One is the whole monarchy. Again, there's a lot of weird precedents. Like, she sits in a golden throne when she announces... There's this really weird thing where the Queen has this huge gold throne where she speaks about the government policy as if it's her policy, which is confusing. Like, I think if there is a Queen, they have to be 100% apolitical, not just 99%. And the second problem is our city process in the UK. It's so ridiculous. So let me clarify. I live near the second biggest non-city city in the UK by population. I go there a lot. And I think I'm... One sec, actually. Biggest towns UK. Let's see what that is. Largest towns without city status. You know, it's in the top 10. I was a little bit wrong about that. But like Milton Keynes, for instance, it's widely believed to be a city, and it's not a city. Or maybe that's the city I live near. Who knows for sure? But you know, there's a lot of like, but because the reason is, because okay, every other country has some at least realistic requirement for becoming a city. I think in the US it's like government based. In Japan, if you get more than 50,000 people, you're a city. In the UK, you have to first of all have a cathedral. It's not required, but it's precedent because again, we've had a long system, and then the Queen has to make it a city. There are loads of cities with cathedrals that aren't cities, or loads of large towns. Again, functionally speaking, it's a city. There is I think it's Southampton. Reading. Reading has 218,000 people living there, and it's a large town. Whereas there's a tiny city in there's a couple of tiny cities in like Wales, etc., that have 3,000 people living there, and it's like, well, what's the difference here? What? So yeah, and every now and then the Queen's like running a competition to pick the next city, and it's like, shouldn't we? Like, what does the word city even mean? Apparently, like in an international world, you have to have an international meaning for city. Like, if you want to have this old ridiculous system where the Queen picks, you know, what is and isn't a city, then like, I don't know, at least call it something else. Make it like a cathedral city. You know, like, don't use the word city, which we use to mean large town everywhere else. Anyway, it's ridiculous. In the US, it's based on the form of government in the town city. Oh, I was right about that one. Again, I know there's this really interesting thing. Like, in America, there's unincorporated places, and then there's incorporated places, which just means, like, they officially confirm it exists. And then on top of that, it's like, there's, like, township? No, there's, yeah, I want to say it's townships. Then there's, like, villages. Then there's, like, towns. Then there's, like, cities. Then it's a whole thing. Have to head out. Have a nice evening, Cats. Thank you for coming along. And Fallen Die, please, says Roblox Guest. That's a very inconsiderate comment. However, I've got something way more considerate because I was hoping it would show up by now, but it'll show up at just the most inopportune time, like midway through a sentence. That's fine. There we go. This is the best stance ever. You can't change my mind. Thank you so much, Nathaniel Zonruter, for becoming a sponsor. The Walrus Man, he's loving the city talk. And now that means you have access to a green icon next to your name. Cool stuff, right? You have access to the exclusive Discord channel if you want that, as well as a rank on there. And also, the best bit is you get these little emotes right here. Look at these emotes. Look at these emotes. Here's Toycat eating a pizza, here's Toycat dabbing, and here's me thinking. So yeah, if you want to join, it's join.ibxtoycat.com, I believe. That's how you find it. So join.ibxtoycat.com. I'm gonna do that thing they do in advertisements, and I never used to understand why, because I thought it was like just annoying. But apparently it's like reinforcement. The more you say it, it sticks in there. So join.ibxtoycat.com. I believe there's I live in an unincorporated census-designated place, because apparently they can't call it a city or a town. Right, like, I'll admit, America's just as confusing, because there's a lot of weird dodging stuff. .ca in Canada. Domain expansions are also something I find fascinating, but we'll spend a whole thing on that. Will you ever make a year badge, says the Froggy fella. See, I was going to do it when we hit someone with a year, and then when it didn't happen, I was like, well, there's no point ever doing it anymore, because everything is binary good or bad for me, apparently. By the way, is there a thing coming up? Gonna look around real quick. Does look like there is. We've been going a long way. Maybe that's just what we have to get used to. Like, okay. You don't see much in the end. You just see what you want to see. And that's kind of cool. So, unincorporated cities are allowed to make their own laws, but unincorporated are governed by federal law. That's the biggest difference. Do you mean state law, I assume? Because you can't be, like, immune from being in a state. Can you? Can you be a place that doesn't exist inside? You know, that's a whole weird thing. Just watch the video if you're losing 10 hours of work. Yeah, that video's going crazy viral right now. Like, it got, like, 300,000 views in the last 2 days or something. It's bizarre, but there's a lot more people watching me die and fail than I would ever imagine. But I'll take it. The one thing I do regret is it's like a 4-minute video or something. Get those inferior ad rates or whatever. But no, it's interesting. So, according to your second channel, you know many things about Europe. And which country is the best college, says Lee Shark. Well, I mean, the best... Okay, so, first of all, college is the American word for university. Second of all, I believe it's the best in the world. Okay, so, when it comes to best universities in the world, there's, like, some amount of disagreement. But Oxford and Cambridge almost always come first and second, both UK-based. But they have very high requirements, and then they have requirements on top of those requirements, which sounds like it's just requirements, but trust me, it's a whole different ballgame. But so, yeah, because so the best universities are Oxford and Cambridge, but they're like almost unrealistic to want to go to unless you're like top notch. And then I think usually it's like Zurich that comes like in the top 10 somewhere, and the rest are all America-based. Like it's UK, US, and then It's like Switzerland, and then you get a few oddballs ones after that. Like I want to say MIT, not MIT, sorry. You get Harvard, you get I don't even know, like Stanford. I don't know the best American universities. I just know Harvard is it's the best for certain subjects. I know MIT is good for certain other ones. Oh, I went right past MIT by accident at one point. That was a fun little thing. Because here's the crazy thing about our college and university, really the same thing. In the UK, college and university are different. In America, but our university and the one I think you also call it, Leanne, in the Netherlands, would be the same as Americans' college. That's what I picked up from the internet. It's hard to say. Like, my editor is in American college right now. And every now and then we talk about it, and I'm like, you know what? I have no clue about all of this. I just hope you're doing well, man. That's how the conversation usually ends up, where it's like, man, okay. I wanna understand. I wanna, you know, be a proud, supportive friend. But at the same time, I have no clue about any of what's happening right now. Like finals, but like it's December, but like it's set by the professor, but it has a real grade. But then there's like extra credits, and it's like, okay, don't even know. Millions of netherrack, weird flex, but okay. Netherrack is such a high quality block, right? Where did your editor go to college? I don't think I'm meant to reveal that information. Like that's like a pretty big. Again, I try to be private with my personal information, so I'll try to be private with his as well. But America, I can say that. The North America too, not even South America. Full on North America. In the US, college is an umbrella for higher education. Then we have universities and community colleges in a way. Oh yeah, the community college thing is a bit wild to me too. But again, I've just accepted, like, okay, there's a slightly confusing... It's paid for, but you pay for it a bit, but you don't pay as much. And if you go to community college and you finish at a bigger one, it counts the same as if you just go to the bigger one, but no one does that because there's so many questions of the American system, and because they all cost, like, because there's cost elements to it all, and because American college debt is like a whole different ballgame too to other types of debt. Because in the UK, like, you know, you pay it back when you earn money, whereas in America you have to pay it back as you're in university, I think, right? So if you don't get a job the month after you leave, you're like already on the hook. And it's like, what? Okay then. Petition to stop Toycat's Discord while he's streaming so we can all watch his stream. I should probably do that, actually. I'm always confused when people are in there, like, having their own separate things. Like, no, give me the attention. That's what I want in the world. But yes, your memory's bad, and, oh, even better than your memory being bad. Grape Sotter says, thanks for making my day every day. You're welcome, Grape Sotter. Wait, is that, I was thinking, like, is that another one to trick me? Like, Grape Sotter? Like, it's gonna make me sound like I'm saying something awful. But it's not. That's nice. Apparently I can't become a member from Bulgaria too, says Dilya Vachanov. Oh, that shocked me, actually. Because you can super chat from Bulgaria, because we got the Bulgarian levs, right? I think so. And I figured, like, all the EU would be treated the same, because, you know, single market or something. But it's confusing. By the way, thank you one more time, Grape Sotter. I appreciate the $2. I got confused in there, but I think it's a valid one. Again, every now and then someone has a name which is there to, like, make me say something else. And every now and then they win and they succeed. But yeah, no, it's weird whenever, like, YouTube only operates different programs in different markets. The list of countries you can super chat from are different to the list of countries you can subscribe, member someone in. And that's different to the list of countries you can have YouTube Premium in. And it's like, okay, you're going to have to pick something here. Something is going to have to be decided, because this is not okay. Also, we have no end cities. We're going to fly around, I guess, a bit to the left and right. We can't have super chats. It's available in 21 countries, but not Bulgaria. Oh! How did I get the Bulgarian levs that one time? Or lose? Levs, I think. I think Romania is Leu. But, that's a strange one. I mean, if you don't already have a VPN, I guess I won't recommend you get one. But if there's a lot of things that aren't available in Bulgaria that you want to get access to, because I think you said you were UK based last time. Maybe you're in Bulgaria for the holiday season, if I had to guess. I would say a VPN might be worthwhile, considering. Again, if it's a common problem, like, there's so many websites that are just... Back in the day, YouTube Premium was US only, and I was going on a 24-hour flight, and I wanted some YouTube videos. It's like, well, I have to pretend I'm from the US. Just quickly hop on a VPN, pay, I don't know what it was, like it was a lot for 3 years though, and now I can use the US stuff. And so it's honestly, it's something I use just every now and then. It's like, oh, this is nice. I'll pretend I'm there. Like whenever I travel, I just set my location to the UK, because otherwise, like I was searching up something. If you want to know, this is exciting. Everyone's favorite topic in the world. I was searching income tax brackets. Oh yeah, that's the best. But no, I was searching, and it was coming up with like income tax in Malta, and like that's interesting to me. I do want to know what their income tax levels are. But I was like trying to look for something UK related. Don't question me on why. It was a whole. I was trying to make a point like on the spot. Like I wonder, is that this? Is this what I think that is? Has this changed since that year? And yeah, it was just giving me Malta results. I was like, okay, flip location to the UK. There we go. Now the autocorrect will do UK stuff. Like, you know, what is the best this in the UK instead? I said in the UK, but I'm back home for the holidays. I use a VPN from the UK to watch Bulgarian TV. Oh, you do the reverse. I wouldn't have assumed that Bulgarian TV would like lock itself behind a thing. Like, not to say that Bulgarian TV is no doubt a wonderful experience, but I would have assumed that like no one in Bulgaria, that like TV stations like, no, if non-Bulgarians watch this, then that's the end of the network right there. You would have assumed they'd be like, oh, that's nice. We got some non-Bulgarian followers too. Especially because, like, I don't know what percentage, but, like, some huge percentage of Bulgarians don't live in Bulgaria, you know? Like, I couldn't tell you what percentage. But I know that there's a big number of Bulgarians not in Bulgaria. It's actually, fun fact about Bulgaria while we're here. I don't have to do taxes, says Sean Lintermoot. If you keep all your money in cash, you know how to pay taxes. We learned this one from that one super chatter. Was it a super chatter? I think it was a super chatter. Wait, who was it that said that? There was definitely someone who... And I was like, you know what, that is bad advice, but I'll take it. Top 10 videos about top 10, says John Hall. That's a solid idea. But yeah, so last time you answered one of my questions was 2016, says Sea Cyclone fan page. I'll turn that question into a question and say, no, it wasn't. There you go. You're getting lost 50 viewers so quick. Yeah, there's a lot of like ups and downs to this sort of stuff. Oh, fun fact about Bulgaria. That's where I was. I just wanted to say, real quick, that it's like, I think it's one of the countries with like the highest population decline. It's like one of the few countries not where it was in 1990. But the more, and that's because there's a lot of like internal, external moving around. But I think Sofia still grows as a city, despite all of that. So that's a fun fact. I mean, I like Sofia as a city. Or Sofia? I don't know. It's got a metro line and everything. It's big stuff. Harrison Gray says, "Do not remove your Elytra." Oh no! What if I don't put it back up? I can't do this to myself. I will forget, and I'll lose my many Elytra. Someone said they wanted super chat, but wouldn't because all their money was cash to avoid. Oh, it was someone who wanted super chat. In my head, I read it as being like they did super chat, and then they said they couldn't sponsor because of that or something. But yeah, that was a. I hope that person was making a joke, or like, you know, making up an excuse like, oh yeah, I'd love to super chat if I was a millionaire. It's the same thing as saying to your friends like, hey, yeah, I would love to make it to your party tonight if I had 30 lives, but there's just other things I want to do instead. And it's like, okay, you know, it's fine. I'm from Bulgaria, says Emil Simeonov. Then did you know? I'm sure you do know if you're from Bulgaria, but if you're not, you might not know. Again, I love this fact, and I'll bring it up every time Bulgaria comes up. But Bulgaria is the only country that I believe this has ever happened. So pre-1940, Bulgaria had kings. They were called Tsars, like in Russian-speaking countries, because Bulgarian's Cyrillic-based language. So, yeah, but in Bulgaria, they had Tsars. And the last Tsar of Bulgaria, he was forced out by the Russians when they took over just after World War II. 50 years later, when the country reverts from communism back to democracy, he decides he's coming back, and he runs a political party, and then he gets elected. Bulgaria had a king, lost their king, you know, kicked out the king, and then re-elected the king in a democratic way. That is, like, it's like, it sounds like a joke. It sounds like a weird TV show punchline, but it's real history. It genuinely happened. And I just, every time I remember that, I'm like, man, you know, it's like, you know how, By the way, big thank you, Rectangular Space Divider 27 for the Euro Super Chat. But it's I don't know. It's like you know how Game of Thrones seems like it's the most crazy fantasy. Pretty much every event in Game of Thrones is just a copy paste from a different part of history. It takes like 500 years of history and puts it in like 5 seasons, admittedly. But like it mishmashes like, oh yeah, this is the Black Dinner, this is the the this, the that. There's almost every famous event in Game of Thrones comes from real life, and it's kind of cool to me that like, oh, history is filled with way more interesting things than like, because coming up with stuff on the spot makes for potentially interesting, but it doesn't hold up when you really think about it. But like the Red Wedding is like the dragons, says Liam Vedemir. Yes, the dragons too. Don't you remember when we used to have dragons? There are pictures of it. God, jeez, I thought you were informed. I thought you were a good history student. So why are we looking for an Elytras, says MillionXX. You gotta read the description. That's the first question I address, and the answer is because why not? Thank you very much. Tornado Fury says this brings back memories. Do you mean bad memories of a time long past, a whole week ago now? Because if you mean that, then boy do I have some bad news. But no, yeah, it's kind of fun, right? Like we're making a big Nether brick pathway. I didn't even realize until I started and someone mentioned it that this is the whole thing. I don't take history. Do you really not take history? I would have assumed it's mandatory. Like, you gotta learn about how the Dutch colonized the sea. Like that's a key thing. And then you can lord it over Americans. Be like, hey, you know how you live in New York? I live in. It was actually called New Amsterdam. And then you can be like, and therefore I basically own you because I live somewhere near Amsterdam. Like I'm just saying, history is valuable. Again, I think most of history is actually quite dull, but like if it's taught right, it can be fun. I'm gonna do this weird thing called sleeping, where you create your own world and be happy. See, thank you very much, Rig Space, for coming way along way. That's a thing I recommend, actually. I mentioned that I'm recommending it, but I've also said that I'm trying to sleep less. Like, I think I'll start in January. I'm going to America, and like, I'll be jet lagged anyway. I won't be able to sleep. Oh, if you don't know, I'm going to America in January. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. First 3 is mandatory, then you pick around 10 subjects. Oh, in the UK you pick 3 subjects, so that's a pretty big difference. I'm home educated, I do history, but not in that way. Did you know there's a few countries where homeschooling is entirely banned? And I used to hate it, because I thought, like, shouldn't the parents pick? But also, let me say this in the most polite way, given I'm responding to someone who is homeschooled. But, like, a lot of people who are homeschooled, like, miss a lot of the point that school teaches you. And I think it's fine to miss the point. But also there's a thing being missed. I'm from the US, says Tornado Fury. That means you're from the same country as New Amsterdam. I finished class this year, and I remember how little I knew about the world until the past few years. I think, honestly, I always think, like, the problem with history is there's so much of it, no one knows it all. No one even comes close. It's not like maths where it's like, oh yeah, you learn addition, then you learn subtraction, then you learn like, what, multiplication or something, and then boom, it's all done. It's really weird because just history is such a big, endless, all-encompassing subject where it's like, okay, well, truth is, there's a lot of it, and you just gotta kind of vaguely know. Where in the USA are you going? I'm going to San Francisco, actually, or maybe San Jose. I mean, it's the same big overarching city. I live in America. You choose one subject, says Elytras. Oh, that's crazy. Actually, that can't be true, because you know what? The thing that always blew my... Oh, by the way, big thank you, Lifu, for the pound super chat. Is that, like, who is that character in your profile picture? I have no clue. But I always hear people talk about minors and majors in America, and it's like, is your minor useful for anything? I always want to make jokes like, oh, I majored in mining. And then that, there's some golden joke in there to be made. I don't know what it is. I'm just saying. There's a joke out there in the wild that one day someone will be able to make. We don't get to choose our subject. Isn't it fascinating that schooling around the world is like this? But, man, that's far from where I live, says Justice Hillary. California is basically where everyone lives. I mean, the internet's there, and everyone uses the internet. Therefore, you all live in California. Checkmate, Americans. Solid argument. So Cat, don't forget to put on the Elytra again. I'm genuinely scared I did take it off the whole time. I was just proving a point to Harrison Gray. Santino Mamone says, would you go to school and get a teaching degree? You would be a cool teacher. I think the problem is that most cool teachers, to put it in your words, probably wouldn't want to go to school. Maybe? Maybe I'm wrong. In Turkmenistan, you take a maximum of 0 subjects. Ah, nice. But, yeah, no, I much prefer YouTube because, one, like, the stuff's always there in the future, and two, it allows me to have more fun. Like, if I want to talk about bad Minecraft ideas, we can still do that. Or, you know, like, the breadth of what I can cover and learn about and share, etc., it's more fun to me, at least. Again, like, on the second channel, I was just like, you know, I'm going to talk about metros today. And the video's done quite well, actually. I wish I could be homeschooled and get stuff done quicker. Wouldn't have to deal with so many people. The thing is, I feel like one of the big values of school is the idea that, like, everyone goes through this same experience. Like, there's something... Oh, gosh, okay. Ooh. There's something kind of nice about this, like, big shared experience. I think, like, that's what builds, like, friendship. Knowing that, like, any stranger you meet, you have some number of things in common with is, like, useful to know. Makes everyone seem a little bit less like serial killers, at least to me. They don't teach bad history in school, i.e. Japan, Germany, WW2. They definitely taught that here. They're like, so, Germany was doing it bad, and we had to go stop them. So that's a thing we did. And a lot of people died while we were trying to do that, because, as it turns out, war is expensive. Or bad. I mean, it's expensive and bad. More bad than expensive, though. Actually, you know, war is a really expensive thing. But you majored in losing 10 hours of work. Hey, the chat went from here to come listen to school. What's next, says Dylan Gnomes. The highest quality conversations. Every now and then, this is, so one of the things, because like I said, I think learning is still kind of cool. I think learning new things is always valuable. And there's some things I just know I don't know. And I'm always trying to like fix that. Like I said, your memory doesn't know what you don't know. And therefore, in like a similar way, you usually don't want to learn what you haven't already learned because you don't know it to learn. You know, that makes sense in my head at least. But in a similar vein, at least it's similar to me, I've always like wanted to know more about like the universe. You sound like my mum, that doesn't make any sense. As if I don't care that people experience school the same way as me. But I mean, like, I don't know, there's a... the whole point of school is that there is like a... You know, it's like a daycare that also builds a country. The only reason... I think the only thing every American has in common is like, oh yeah, you went to preschool, then, what, elementary, and then... You know, kindergarten, sorry. See, I'm learning... I know American words. And, like, that's, like, a thing that keeps you all bound together. You all learn the same rough version of history, and you learn the same... Whereas when you're at school, when you're homeschooled, you technically have to do the same stuff, but it's, like, less informed. I don't know, I just feel like... It's diversity of thought is a really good idea, as long as it comes from the same base knowledge. A daycare that builds a country. That's what it is. Let's be honest. Like, school isn't this, like, grand... gesture where, you know, the country is like, let's make this people smart. It's more like, this will allow the parents to do this and that and work more. It just, I don't know, that's always been my take, at least. Maybe I'm the controversial one. Let's make a new sack and let's do this. Yeah, I didn't go to preschool. Here's the funny thing, I went to, like, I didn't know until way later that, like, yeah, everyone said they didn't go to preschool. I didn't know that was optional. Like, how can it be optional to not go? See, and that's the point that, you know, my parent put me in a daycare, and a lot of people's parents do. Why would you not? I mean, it's like free childcare, and your child might learn something. I just played around on a big, like, pretend car, but still. So yeah, there's an end portal on that island. Yeah, the end gateway, I think they're called. There's not much really to do with it though, like besides go back. So I won't be doing that, I guess. Easy as that. Also, we didn't find a single end city so far. Man, I would have assumed. So, my girlfriend left me last year, and now this year she started getting homeschooled. Major oof. See, here's the problem with living in America, particularly the South, and being homeschooled. When you get a crush on that girl in your class, it gets really awkward really fast. See, you like that? That's a joke about American stereotypes. If you if you choose to unsubscribe for the high qualityness of that joke, how maybe hit to host a home for you, make sure to leave a comment down below. And oof, says Nathaniel Naruto. Got you good right there. Got America real good. Not okay. I think I heard that joke somewhere else, but I found it fun. That joke is exclusive to the Deep South. Yeah, I know, it's kind of a funny thing, and like, there's so many stereotypes about America, but they're all about exclusive different parts. The American-British school systems are so confusing to me. I think the truth is that, like, every country does school different, and that's my point, that, like, one of the few things that is consistent. It's awkward because that girl should cut. Oh man, that's the joke, man. That joke's accurate though. My mum dates her third cousin through high school. Okay, so I never mean to bad talk any ex-girlfriend, so I will not be bad talking any ex-girlfriend. However, on the subject of questionable things, stories from okay, so I once dated a girl. She was a redhead, if that changes everything, but like actual red, not this pretend orange red. And she had a little sister. She was 16, and she was pregnant. And that's cause for concern. But like, she wanted to be a mother. That's fine. Like, you make your life decisions. I guess if you're 16, we've decided that's a fine thing you can do. Although I think the baby must have been conceived at 50. But whatever. She's 16. She can choose to be pregnant. That's her choice. But that can just be her choice. But then it like later turned out that like the father was her second cousin, because they just didn't find out until one day they went to like a family gathering and they were invited to the same one or something. Because second cousin isn't that closely related. It's not under the legal def. But I was like, man, that is a trashy situation to be in. Like, I don't even know how or what you like do in response to that. Is that an end plant down there, by the way? I think it might be. Either way, though, we're going right into an end city. Do we have a boat thing next to it too? Maybe, maybe not. So, I wasn't pregnant at 16, says the great Vigoretto72. I was also not pregnant at 16. Wait. Type in chat if you weren't. Just, I feel like that's gonna again. I think it's fine. I think it's a okay thing to decide. I'm never gonna say you shouldn't decide things. That's always been my like big guiding philosophy of just like, man, in general, I would never like to forcefully tell someone. I try to, if you're like doing something that's like directly hitting me, it's like, stop. And I'll try my best. I can't actually stop you. I hope. Oh wow, a lot of people were not pregnant at 16 in the chat. But I thought you, okay, do you think water is wet or dry? Water is definitely wet, but we're not going to get into this one again. It drives everyone crazy. Well, you're from the place where Fallout 76 is based? Me, yes I am. Hey, West Virginia! I know the song about your state, and I'm making a Minecraft parody about it. I mean, I don't know for sure. West Virginia! Except it's about Minecraft. It's a high quality. I don't know if I'm actually going to do it, but I've got everything lined up for it, so I guess that's a fun idea. Water can't be wet, dude. No, it's wet because it's touching water. That's what defines wet. Mountain Mama. So as you can see, there is a... Oh, okay, I guess I'm flying now. Didn't really choose to do this, but... Guess choice is not... Oh wait, I wanted shulkers. That's why I'm here in the end. Okay, so do I have spaces? I do. Okay, please don't hit me, friends. Please don't hit me. Now we just hit these. Okay. Guess we fly now. Fly away. Yeah, we wanna hit them before their attacks can come out, really. That's ideal. Oh, okay, let's do this. Just please don't hit me, and please drop a shulker. A shell. Oh, there's one in here too. Hey, we got a shulker shell. Okay, wonderful. After this is going to be a quid, says like 101. If you don't know, a quid is what we call a pound in the UK. It's like an informal name. Don't ask me why it exists. I'd love to know the story behind where quid came from, actually. In fact, chat, if you tell me the most convincing story of where quid came from. But yeah, Blake101 says, after this can be a quid. Thank you so much, Blake101. You know, this is the most committed, truthful man I've ever met in my life. Most people, they make everyone makes hyperbolic statements all the time. Like, oh man, that was the best time I've ever had. Or like, oh man, I am never going to do this again. Or, ah, you're the best, man. You're my best friend. while having 4 beds. You know, like, everyone does hyperbole. I know it's not hyperbole. Okay, I once had an English teacher told me I can't say hyperbole, and I was like, I'm going to say it. And what's going to happen to me? Nothing. English language, checkmate. I didn't say that last bit. But because my memory's so bad, I probably think I do. I probably think I did, sorry. But, yeah, basically, everyone makes statements like that all the time. That could have almost killed me. But, yeah, this guy, he said I'm going to donate every stream. And he stuck to that commitment. And that's something you can never take away from him. Oh, I should have just let the shulker hit me. I don't know why I just didn't do that. Oh, wait, let's put a block down below it. And now we can guarantee we'll get the shulker shell box drop thing. Whatever. Didn't want it anyway. So, who else came from the video? Man loses 10 hours of work in 3 seconds. Yeah, a lot of people just saw the channel today because of that. Which is fun. It's fine. It's interesting even. There are so many shulkers around here. And apparently being in the air from levitation does not count as a critical. Like, I don't know if I think it should, but it's interesting that it doesn't anyway. I really want that shulker shell box, but I guess we'll just walk over here regardless. It doesn't matter how many times they hit me for the most part. Okay, please just... I want the levitation to stop. That's all I want. So, Cat, wouldn't that be because quid has been used since before decimalisation? £1 equals 20 shilling, 1 shilling is 12 pennies, so 1 quid was 240 pennies. But, like, where does the quid originally come from? Like, that explains where it is now. Also, a fortune-free shovel. That is high quality right there. This is the dream. I should take the gold, but I won't take the gold. Actually, let's take the gold and put it in the chest. There we go. That's Toy Cat thinking smart now. Also, it's weird that there's end chests here. It's almost like they want you to take it and put them in there. Put the stuff in there. And now we got ourselves an end. See, this is just wonderful. Also, there's a chest we could turn into a shulker box. So, like, this is a win on every level. Anyway, let's finally kill this guy. And let's do this. When I was in 2nd grade, my teacher told me, a classmate, not to say Michigan, and kept saying that, so she made a move to stoplight color. What is that even? A lot of that sentence went past me at the Justice Hillary. Like, what? A stoplight color going to red? I assume that's bad based on the context, but I mean, like, I don't know for sure, man. I don't know for sure. Okay, so let's just finish this one up. There are probably more shulkers to be gotten, but I kind of want to get the last one here. Why isn't there metric time? I did calculations, and it seems much easier to understand. There is actually a, there's metric time, but even metric countries don't use it. I think it's the best, though. It's objectively the best form of time. It's the ISO, the International Standards Organization. I don't know if it's a UN body or... Wait, actually, one sec. Who is the ISO run by? Is it an American company? They are formed in 1947. They're an international stand... But where are they based? Geneva, Switzerland. A Swiss company. They have standards for everything. You've probably heard about, like, oh yeah, how to make a cup of tea. Standardized, etc., etc. But, yeah, basically, there is a standardized way to do date. It's year first, then month, then day. And it makes so much more sense in our current system. Because you can immediately tell the most important amount of time, then the second most, then the third most. The British system makes the next most amount of sense, because it's like... It's the same idea, but in reverse. So you look to the end, then you read to the right. And America's like, you know, what if we just said, screw it, and put everything everywhere? We should make everything metric even time. Right, like, the problem is though, like, progress is, like, hard to sell. Because the benefits of metric take a long time to take effect, whereas the downsides are immediately seen. So it's a politically unpopular idea. You know, I wish it was easy. But sadly, the world makes it not such. Also, let's fly up, let's fly around, and let's get this shulker, wherever he is. Because he totally went outside somewhere, right? Where did he go? Am I insane? Maybe he's on top of this. So we'll fly up, fly down. Okay, he's not on top, we just lost it. So we'll go for this instead. And I'm on top of the end ship island. Look how beautiful this end city is. Metric time sounds so much more logical. Yeah, I love the idea of having like a nice logical time system everyone can follow and everyone can just understand. Like I think everyone, you know, I think more logic should be applied to everything. Also, I got hit like post-mortem. I guess I'll climb the ladder then. Oh, you can't climb ladders or like this. Guess I'll go to the front of the ship. Oh, there's a dragon head usually, right? Where's the dragon? There's the dragon head. So can I say... Okay, I'm just going to firework. Because baby, I'm a firework. Have to sing it. Okay, let's go. So there's potions in here. They're nice potions, but we'll pass. Actually, you know, I'll take the potions. I think I need them every now and then. Better to have them than to not have them. And we're going to go for this. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We got this. Oh, ouch. We good. Get some more gold. Get some more boots. Oh, with thorns on. That's a rare one. Oh, that is an interesting sword. And this is an interesting pickaxe. There we go. Just like this, we have ourselves a whole new set of stuff. Wonderful. See, I think I'll do this for all the entities now, because like it's just useful to have. And we also got ourselves a new Elytra. Even if we only get one Elytra today, we got one Elytra. That's one more Elytras than no Elytras. Checkmate. Who needs logic when you can use logic? Exactly. That's just, we need everyone to think that, and then we'd be much better off. So getting this is actually kind of dangerous for the head. I mean, not for you usually. But I want it anyway. It's just a nice little souvenir to take each time we go to one of these. So let's grab it, and let's get away from here. And let's continue our pathway for a bit at least, and then when we run out, we'll fly. And we'll see what we find. Because there's more shulkers I'm definitely forgetting, like down here somewhere. There's got to be a couple at the doorway that I missed. Yep, there is. Oh, oh, please hit each other. Please, not me. Each other. Go, go, go. Oh, wow, what was that? There we go. Wonderful. And just like that, we now have 7 new shulker shells, which is 3 more shulker boxes. If I just raid like another 8 or 9 of these, I'll have enough for a full inventory worth of shulker boxes. That'd be fun, right? I'd find that fun. Hey, do you remember me, says Armad 2? I do not remember you. But I can pretend I do. And if you'd like that, I got that covered. No, I think most people just say yes whenever people ask, do you remember me? And like, go with it. But I'd rather just say, no, I don't think I do in this case. So, yeah, what we're going to do now is we're going to just place this. And it's going to go through the end city, I think. Which might be awkward. But we'll work for it. Can someone explain to me what the whole Java and Bedrock thing is? Are they separate from Minecraft? Do they cost money? I know it sounds stupid, says CGW. You know, it's all good. Let me... Hey there, friend. Where did that come from? Let's... Does anyone see where that came from? And we looked at an Enderman now, apparently. Great. Where... Maybe it was, like, the old shulkers, the ones who just died. If I get hit again, we'll know that it definitely wasn't. Where did that come from? Yeah, it must have been an old one. Odd. Very odd. So it's kind of interesting that, like, the exact line I chose just happened to go right through a end city. But again, I'll take it for now. Did you ever recover your things, and how did you get a Mending Elytra if you didn't? Well, I did recover my things, and that's how I got my Mending Elytra. There you go. Okay, so here's the thing. A lot of people have only watched, like, 1 of the 5 or 6 videos. So I'm going to make a big, like, recap video. And it's like a video style I've never done before. Like, I'm going to take 22 hours of content and, like, sum it up in, like, 22 minutes. Oh, that's a good, genius idea for the format. 22 hours in 22 minutes. I'll tell the editor that. But, bottom of the bridge says, minus 611. Oh, really? Like, underneath the bridge, you're reckoning? No? Bottom of the bridge. Oh, okay, we're getting chased by Enderman real hard right now. Bottom of down there? Bottom of one of these bridges, maybe? Are we missing it? No, okay, so Bedrock Java, let me explain this one. So first of all, it's Java with it's Java, because that's the programming language that's made in. And then, oh, there we go, there's the shulker friend. See, these things will chase you for some serious time. Like, in my opinion, an unfair, unrealistic amount of time. And then we just make a little thing going up like this. And we get up there. Oh, wait, this is my first time to crossbow kill something. Never mind. Way more fun. Oh, wait, I can crossbow kill from the sky. That'll be way more fun. Hey, we did it. Okay, we got nothing from that. Okay, we just gotta keep on taking these things down. Oh, okay. Get that XP. There's a hungry Enderman here, but I don't really care. Oh, that rhymes. I'm a poet that didn't even know it. Oh, and there's a second one coming up. Well, we go 6,000 blocks of nothing, and then 2 in a row. It's like buses, am I right? Do 22 hours and 20 seconds. Like that. That's a really cool... Oh, 22 seconds. took a second. You know what? That's a good idea too. Like make a meme version that's just like, here's 22 hours compressed into 22 seconds. I can't imagine myself drinking water with H2O, says Ice Spirit. Cool Zelda shirt, says Super Duper Max. Thank you. I like it a lot too. So yeah, there's a brand new... So apparently in 75 minutes we'll find 2 Elytras this fast. That's kind of crazy. So can you go a million blocks in the end, says Carl Charles. The problem with going a million blocks in the end is you have to kill yourself to get back. There's no like trick way to get back. Like even going 10,000 blocks in the end is like a serious task to do. So probably not. Also, minus 1173. Look, we've done it. We've just got an extra 600 blocks there. But still, I thought it was a nice little reference. Can you try a no placing blocks challenge? It'd be awesome. So no placing blocks is impossible unless you... Oh, it's possible, sorry. But it depends on what you count as a block. And if people count water as a block, then it's impossible. And then I know someone will count water as a block. Like, maybe I should do it anyway, just to prove the point. Like, I think it'll be a lot of fun. No placing blocks. Because, yeah, my next challenge is just, like, all the way out there. Bit too crazy for me. Oh, this is, like, the lamest end city I think I've ever seen. It's not even an end city, it's just a... It's an end village, am I right? See right there? There's no cathedral. Wait, should we build an end cathedral and make an end city? Now that's a good idea right there. I think there's some great meme potential to be had in that. But no, more seriously, you can see this is an end city. We here now, and not much else is here with us. Although we'll find 2 shulkers if we walk far enough. Let's just... Can we see them? We can't. So they're on that side. You will find at least like a shulker shell. It's just kind of disappointing to go all this way and get like maybe a shulker shell. So we'll go to minus 7,000. Because that seems like a nice point we've got so far. Has the queen accepted it? Exactly. Breaking blocks equals... Breaking a block is placing an air block. Oh, that's too deep for me, man. I can't even think that one through. But no, that's actually in the worst Minecraft sessions of 2018. Someone basically makes that same point. Maybe it was you. But no, it's a really fun video. I'm looking forward to everyone seeing it. I can't upload it today because obviously there was just the news. It's Let's Play Day. But on like Wednesday, it's one of the videos I most look forward to every year, like recording it and then uploading it. So if you like it every year too, that's a fun thing. I'm expecting you to fall through blocks after the video. It's really, really hard to do it below 64,000 blocks. And even after 64,000, it has to be on both directions to even be reasonably possible. So like, if you're scared I'm going to fall through, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Again, you can theoretically force yourself to. But even then, it's like, I mean, you'll be fine. Like, just bring an Elytra with you, and you're all good. It's all wonderful. Oh, we got a Thorns helmet with Unbreaking. How nice. Oh, a Mending Sword. Oh, that's cool. That's really, really cool. I have a Mending Sword already, but that would have been absurd if I did not. Sadly, I do. But if I did not, then that would have been very absurd. So we won't take the Iron Boots for now. I will kill off these guys, though. Because why not? Might as well. You're only in the magic room with all the spiky dudes once. Honestly, I only hate the levitation just for, like, these one... Oh, okay, let's just stand on the dude. Kill him that way. Oh, okay. That's a dangerous way to kill these people. Can you call them people? I mean, not really, but also not really not. A bit rude to assume they're species right there. But yeah, no, so I was trying to work out, one of the things that I don't know, really, is, like, the universe. Every time I talk with someone intelligent about the universe, I come away with a different, like, viewpoint on life and everything. So I tried to work out, like, okay, is the universe finite or infinite? And as I researched it, it's like, I still don't know for sure. And isn't that kind of crazy that we still don't definitively know if there is an amount of something out there or an endless amount? Like, it seems... I don't know why, but it generally boggles my mind that, like, that should be a basic question, right? Like, is there a certain amount of stuff, or is there not? Like, again, we come to new agreements every now and then, like, oh yeah, the universe We used to generally think the universe will contract one day. There'll be a big crunch like the Big Bang. Now we don't think that. Now we think it's growing exponentially. But also, we have theories about how that happens. And if it's infinite, can you travel to the rest of it? There's like an infinite number of like endless questions of like, it's kind of infinite and also kind of not at the same time. It doesn't really... it's just, it's strange. It's bizarre. But that is the universe. How do you define nothing? See, that's the thing, right? If the universe is a fixed amount, what's outside that? Can there be outside that, Not really, but like 4D. I know we confirmed the universe is only 3-dimensional. Or at the very least, if there is a 4th dimension, it's constant. Because I was really... Again, there's the most absurd stuff. Like, you have to work out how light would refract on a 4D plane. And it's like, my gosh. Going into dimensions higher than 3... Oh, my finger's going weird. Going into dimensions higher than 3 is where things kind of get, like, a bit strange as far as I'm concerned. The universe is still infinite in space, but there has to be a little bit of matter. Even if there's objectively infinite amount of matter, it has to be a finite amount, no matter how large. I mean, doesn't that come under the whole thing of, like... even if there's 2 numbers, both that are infinite, one infinity can be bigger than another one. Like, there are countable infinities, like, even though lots of numbers are infinite, there are some numbers that are more infinite than other numbers. Which is... Yeah, that's a whole thing. How is it possible the universe exists in the first place? I struggle with this from time to time, because even your whole lifetime, and I've said before, I think 80 years is so long. Even 80 years, in the grand scheme of existence, is nothing. Like, it's a infinitesimally... It's almost infinitesimally small. It's like such a tiny fraction, you wouldn't be able to see it. It's like, if every year was a grain of sand on a beach, then the lifetime would be like every beach. It's hard to even properly explain, like, okay, how much 2 times infinite is still infinite. Exactly right, 2 times infinite is still infinite. The only thing you can say is it's bigger than the previous infinite. So there can be an infinite amount of, like, space with an infinite amount of matter, but still have a problem with there being so much space of no matter. I plan to live for 400 years using 5-hour energy. I don't know if anything about that sentence adds up, but I admire your plight, sir. I admire your plight. So we're pretty much out of netherrack now. I'm not 100% sure we are. I think one of these must have some more in. Yeah, this one does. So let's, first of all, actually, we'll take out the red one first. Throw the goodies in there, because it doesn't make sense to make a separate one. We've now got a fully full chest. If we take out some more beef at least, sure. Take out the beef. Throw in the secondary sword. Now we grab the second one. Again, I love shulker boxes just because they're a bit wild and almost pointless seeming, but still important. So this time we're going to grab the last of the netherrack, and we'll use it, and we'll see where that takes us. And I guess that'll take us roughly to 75 minutes, actually. What a perfect stream length. There are more irrational numbers than rational one, even though they're both infinite. Yeah, that's true too. There's an infinite number of irrational numbers. Well, okay, the best way to explain that is like, even though there's an infinite number of numbers, an infinite number of irrational numbers, there's an infinite number of irrational numbers between every 2 rational numbers. So between 1 and 2, there's an infinite number of numbers. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Hey, Toycat, would you... oh, wait, never mind. But thank you for the question anyway, Even Tat. If you go on a mission to populate Mars, would you? I've said before, but like, Mars, it's going to be miserable for the first while. It's kind of like trying to go to America in like 1400. Like, if you get there, no matter how rich you are in this world, there aren't resources to control. You are going to have a miserable time. And that might be your favorite thing, like colonizing a new place or whatever. But the truth is that the basic truth, in my opinion, is that like going to Mars is going to be unpleasant. You do it because you want to be in history books and because the idea sounds fun, or maybe you just don't have a good life here. But I think going to Mars, it's not like a cool like vacation destination. Like, oh yeah, next year, you know how next year I'm going to Calgary. That's going to be a cool place. You know, Banff is meant to look beautiful. Mars is not meant to look beautiful. Mars is not a great, you know, do not catch a flight to Mars. So I'm excited about Taiwan next year. Not excited about Mars, because Mars is Mars. You have to build society from scratch. Imagine if it's like, oh yeah, so I'm going on this really great holiday to Thailand next year. I'm going to work in a prison camp, and then hopefully I'm going to survive. I mean, statistically not. But like, it's like, yo, I live in Calgary. Hey, I'm going to your city. Have you ever been to the Loog? Because one of my bizarrest things that I just love in the world is the Loog. I don't even understand the physics behind it. I don't even understand the fun physics. Like, why is this enjoyable? Why am I liking this? I thought we were going to imperialize alien planets. That's one of the theories. Okay, here's the problem with the universe, right? If you don't know, the universe is either infinitely large or finitely large, but like accountable, whatever. The universe is big. So the universe is so big, in fact, that even to our nearest galaxy, the nearest, you know, like thing that's close, it's 2.5 million years away. So, sorry, 2.5 million light years away. Which means the light we're seeing, which is the fastest anything can travel in the universe, is 2.5 million years old. The Loog is so much fun. Hey, Neophorn agrees. Okay, it's not just me. But there's 2.5 million light years between us and our nearest galaxy. I think I got that right. It might be more, might be less. But that means we're seeing that galaxy as it existed 2.5 million years ago. Here's the thing. If you looked at that galaxy from us right now, you would see nothing. There was no humanity 2.5 million years ago. You might see some basic forms of life. So by the time we start seeing basic form of life, there could be a fully developed civilization that eclipses ours. Like, if tomorrow, it wouldn't happen overnight. But if we started seeing some form of life there, by the time we've seen it, 2.5 million years have passed. They've had all those years to develop and evolve. And that is beyond fascinating to me. Like, how does that even, like, what is that, you know, like, it's just incomprehensible. It's like, you know, and to me, I've always assumed we're not going to colonize space. Something already has, we don't see it yet, or it doesn't want us to see it, or it just doesn't care about us. One of my favorite sci-fi concepts out there is Step 1 invented TARDIS. One of my favorite sci-fi concepts is it's called like the free body problem, I want to say. I could be wrong, but it's a Chinese book, and their whole idea is like, look, if an alien civilization comes, then we're screwed. No matter what you see that civilization is looking like, it's going to be more advanced than you by the time it gets here. And they theorize that, like, look, we know there's a civilization out there coming for us. It's going to take them 2.5 million years to get here, maybe less, maybe more. You know, you'll see them en route, and, you know, whatever it is. What you have to do is not try and defend against them. You can't beat this military. Or in fact, they tried to beat them, but then the entire Earth military is wiped out in one blast. So they're like, okay, our plan is to seem like ants. And the cool idea behind the novel is, even stuff as close to the sun, we see 8 minutes late. Yeah, it'll take 8 minutes to see that the sun is destroyed. I mean, obviously you die first, but like, that's still crazy. We see Mars a few minutes delayed. So yeah, going back to my point. But I think it's interesting that the only concept humanity has to survive is to seem like ants. If we try to rival them, they destroy you instantly. If you just exist peacefully, and you never develop your technology, that's what Earth does, like, we limit our own technology, then suddenly, that's a thing we can do. Suddenly we're not interesting to stray, because what's the point? Like, you don't tread on ants, because why would you? But you do fight back against, like, if a cat started scratching at your knee and was like, yeah, that's a noise cats make. You'd be like, whoa, 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 chill there on that. Or like a killer hamster, if it attacks you, you're gonna be like, whoa, and you might hit it. You know? You see the point? There's a decent chance that humanity could survive if the sun disappeared. I don't think that's true, Cisco Tesla. I'm gonna look it up, I guess, after this. But that sounds like that is impossible. I feel like we need the sun for, like, way too much. What makes people think that alien life would be so much more intelligent? What resources would they have to have? Here's the thing, like, intelligent life, I don't know what the odds of it developing are. No one knows. Based on Earth, we have, like, a 1 out of 2,000 intelligent life. It's just that with enough years, anything is possible. Looking at humanity, look how much life has changed in the last 100 years. 100 years ago, World War One had just ended. You know, we still hadn't gone through that whole second war we gave a try. You know, we thought we thought the first one was so good we'd go for a second. You know, 100 years ago, World War One had just ended. 100 years ago, our technology was so far behind. There was no computers. There was no internet. There was no... You know, all these things are like the last 20 years. Like, I mean, internet and phones being widespread at least. And yeah, the Earth will freeze over in 10 minutes. Yeah, I was going to say. Also, on the scale of universe, we're more insignificant than ants are to us anyway. But I mean, like, if there's a species that can colonize entire galaxies, our entire bet is just be like, it's like a nature reserve. We don't kill penguins, but we do kill, I don't know, like buffaloes or... You know, there are animals we kill and animals we don't. And the trick is to just make killing you not worthwhile. Just like, why would you even kill me? Bizarre strategy, but it can pay dividends. So I'm going to keep looking around here just to make sure there's no other stuff going on here. And then we'll be good. If there's no sun, there's no photosynthesis, no oxygen, no humans. Again, that was my theory. You stole my joke. Which joke was it? I honestly... Oh, we found another one, by the way. That's kind of crazy. Guess who's got 2 Elytras today? This guy. Oh, okay. Let's just fly it. There we go. Wonderful. So let's just real quick, first of all, kill all the things. We're going to have a lot of new shulk boxes after this. It's going to be great fun for my next big expedition. I don't know if I'm going to do another one. But if I do another one, I'm going to be very prepared for it, apparently. Dude, I read the book of the 5th wave. I think that might be the same one. Have you seen the 5th wave? I don't know for sure. I'd have to look up what just happened there, by the way. I honestly don't know. So we're going to grab our third... Well, I mean, we have a lot of Elytras besides these ones. Oh, look at this. Mending chest plate. We've finally done it. It's finally happened, fellas. See, this is the beauty of discovering your end a little bit too late. You discover it post-mending, and now you get new things. How nice. Yeah, higher alien empires must think we're laughing soft universe. We probably have... Yeah, like compared to the amount we infight is one of our biggest weaknesses, galactically speaking, you know? I watched that movie, it was weird. I don't know what it is. End City, by the way. Okay, so now we're just gonna... Oh, it's kind of scary flying from this to that. I didn't get the Ender Dragon head. I probably should. Do you have to go to the end to get the Elytra? You do, which is... And it's kind of tricky most of the time, actually. Because you usually have to kill the Ender Dragon first. If you haven't ever done it, I would recommend it. Flying in Minecraft is... Oh my god. It's fun. Almost as fun as floating up endlessly. In fact, let's just break into this place from the side. That's always fun to do. Oh, Christ. So let's just break a couple blocks. Kill the shot. Oh, no. Oh, okay, so we'll just walk inside here. Kill you as well. This is just a valid way to kill enemies, I'm telling you. So, I'm heading out. It's good to see you, Leanne. You're just at the end of the stream anyway. We've gone 75 minutes, and just like a rebel, we've gone for another 10. Wow. But no, yeah, whenever it comes to, like, aliens and the galactic scale of things, I think you kind of just have to accept, like, look, any other species that will be able to contact us will be so far above us. We just have to hope that it has friendly intentions, or we have to make it not worthwhile to not have friendly intentions. Well, the numbers above your face cam. I believe it's the subscriber count, friendo. I'll check that. Oh, goddamn. I'll quickly check. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, not check. I'm going to check. Make sure. I'm always curious, like, you know, does live streaming increase subscribers? Or what's the scoop with that? And I guess we'll just assume that maybe it did go up today. I don't know. We just hit 934,700. That's a nice number. I like nice numbers. The amount we infight is one of our biggest weaknesses, galactically speaking. It's the kind of thing you have to be talking about stream when the aliens have arrived. I mean, a lot of people think the aliens have already arrived and they're just like scouting us out. Like, imagine an alien civilization that was so advanced, that it an alien civilization so advanced that it was able to, you know, get to Earth, travel the stars, the planets, etc. But also was scared it couldn't take down humans. Like, what weapons do we have against aliens? Tell me. I don't think you can. Like, we have, like... Oh, I guess we have bullets. They're real good against flesh. which we hope aliens are made of in some way. And it's like, yeah, okay, so we have nothing against alien spacecraft. Like, how are we going to fire into space? We're going to launch a nuke at ourselves? Guns, tanks. You know, aliens will be terrified in their spaceships as we aim our tanks at them. You see my point though, right? Like, I hope. Okay, I'm just going to kill and then drop down. Oh, goddamn. I hate my life. I hate everything about it. It's all over. Yana Yashova says 100 subscribers more in the beginning of the stream. Hey, see, that's good. That's a good number. Top 10 number. Because on Mondays, like, I feel like it's usually the dead day of the week. But in this case, it's like, you know, we're about to have an update to drop. I think this is going to be, like, the smallest, like, in terms of, like, how much it helps the channel, like, update things. Because usually every year, like, I do, like, the 6 video thing. But I think for this update, a lot of people are just confused, not quite sure what's going on. But I'm going to make a bunch of T2? Yeah, we'll call it 82 videos tomorrow. I'll talk about it, check it out, etc. There we go. We good? Okay, we're good. Because oh, okay. We're getting a lot of these shulker shells, by the way. I have enough for 7 shulker balls. Okay, let's just fly up. It's the fastest way. Did he die or not? I honestly can't tell. I honestly can't tell. Let's just grab all the good stuff. Oh, man, there's just so many good shulker boxes. Sorry, shulker loot chests? I'm not even sure. I don't want to grab this chest plate because I have enough. But it seems weird not to. Oh, look, we got another good sword. Oh, a fortune pickaxe. I don't have one, and I have no desire to get one outside of this. But that could potentially be useful. Is a mending pickaxe ever useful? Chat, what do you think? Because personally, I'm not too sure. Why didn't you stream yesterday, says Carl Charles? I just got in, and I was like... So, okay. I have to... Full disclosure on this story, as I killed the last of the shulker boxes. The night before I left for Malta, I was up till 4 AM just making videos to make sure, you know, that you guys had something to watch while I was gone. It was a lot. It was probably too much. Basically, I was up till 4 AM, which is when I had to leave for my flight. So I did an all-nighter. It's my first all-nighter I did in a long time. It killed me a little bit. But when I got back, because I'd flipped my sleep schedule, I was trying to sleep at like 8 PM or something. We'll probably sleep around 11:30 tonight or something. But, yeah, so I was like, okay, if I stream, I'll mess up. You know, I won't get good sleep. And I value good sleep, honestly. Like, last few nights, I've been, like, actually sleeping. It's been great. So, yeah, actual sleep and regular sleep would recommend... I almost died there. That would have been funny. I mean, for you. Would have been tragic for me. You can XP when you mine. You've repaired your pickaxe and you can mine for a long time. But, I mean, like... Here's the problem... Like, when you mine, most of what you're mining isn't XP based. Like, theoretically, it could be good. I guess it would depend on the numbers. But I don't think it will be good. Is there a shulker shell drop? There's not. Okay. We good. So we got 16 now. Let's go make ourselves 8 shulker boxes, apparently. Sleep well. It's good for you. It's officially Toycat recommended. Ask your doctor about sleeping. And he might advise you. Toycat. No, wait. I'm not sure what point I was making that. You know, I'm making a joke about the whole ads for healthcare products in America. It's weird. It's confusing to me. But yeah, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy today's live stream. We travelled about 7,000 blocks. We found 3 end cities. One of which was mostly a coincidence, but like, I mean, whatever. And I also got to use all the netherrack up, or most of it at least. Because it's kind of fun making this huge pathway. But now, what we have to do, as you're all probably aware, is make the long... trek home, which is going to be a fun one in my opinion. If we meet aliens, you have to explain why we make so many movies about killing them. That would be a bit of an awkward one. That sounds like a Rick and Morty like scenario to deal with. Like, the deal is we have lots of fantasies about killing you. Imagine if we went to Russia and they made loads of movies about how much they kill Americans because they're the bad guys. Because you know Russians are always the bad guy, or you know Middle East or whatever it is. It's like that's terrifying on a human level. Now imagine that on like a galactic level. And it's like, oh god, this is a little bit scary. Alien mass immigration. Oh, okay, so again, I like Rick and Morty. I think seasons 1, 2, really great. Season 3, pretty great. And there's actually a whole thing about like, oh yeah, so what if aliens did migrate to Earth? Like it's a whole, I think I just spoiled it actually, a whole plot point in one of the seasons. But it's just one of the real factors. So yeah, I'm gonna walk back 6,500 blocks. The other options you have, by the way, in case you're curious. Oh wait, no, you can go back easily. You just take one of these end frame things. So yeah, here's my plan to go back, by the way, before we go. So thank you very much for watching the video. Like it if you liked it. Feed me clicks if you really liked it. And do other stuff if you feel like you're in love with me and want to repay me in other ways. But okay, there we go. Oh no! Okay, so if we just do that a little bit better. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit more gentler. Always be gentle with precise things. Oh my god. We'll try that again. You know, maybe I should just end a pearl then. See, this is why I usually bring water with me to the end, because doing it this way is just such a pain. There we go. It takes you back over here. It's like you respawn. Easy. It's like you didn't even know Russia existed until just now when saw movies about them killing Americans. Right, that would be like, oh my gosh, this is a dangerous place. Like imagine if we find out there's people living in Antarctica and they fantasize about killing, you know, I don't know, British people, Americans, Dutch people, Bulgarians, whichever nationality you are. That would be terrifying on like every level, right? By the way, big thank you Hayakian for the £1 super chat. Actually, I checked, by the way, and the Ethereum you gave me is in Ethereum. So, because I personally do believe Ethereum's going to go up like 10 times in value, I guess you can like look at that and be like, man, I gave ToyCat like the equivalent of like $200 in 2018 terms. So maybe that's a terrifying thought for you. Maybe it's not. But thank you very much for the super chat, and thank you for watching today's stream. Tomorrow I'm live streaming at 10 AM. That's 11 hours from now. 11. Or, is this 11? Is this a better 11? You know, 11, maybe like that. 11 hours from now, I'm live streaming. Set an alarm, please. Maybe. Because we're playing the PlayStation 4 edition. It's been a really long time since I checked that out, actually. So if you want to see ToyCat on the PlayStation 4, then you can see that over at youtube.com/ToyCat in 11 hours. It's probably like 11 hours 15. But like, yeah, set an alarm for 11 hours. Come check me out. And I'll see you all there. For now, though, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye. Hey, Tatiana! I see your super chat, but it won't show up on stream. Actually, you know what? Let's just chill here. Let's say one more thing, which is that, you know what? I think crossbows shouldn't be behind experimental gameplay. What's the deal with that? I mean, they're fun weapons, but anyway. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.